Today, we're talking about something that's really basic when it comes to understanding your finances: assets and liabilities. Now, I know that might sound a bit technical, but stick with me because getting a good grasp on this concept can seriously impact your financial future in a big way. Whether you're planning to save up for something special, manage your debt better, or simply want to be more financially savvy, understanding assets and liabilities is key. And here's the thing. Most people have heard these terms, but not everyone truly understands what they mean or how they affect your everyday life. So, what exactly are assets and liabilities? Simply put, assets are things that put money in your pocket, while liabilities are things that take money out. It's really that straightforward. But let's break it down a bit more because there's a lot more to it than just that. Imagine you have a savings account, some investments, and maybe even a car that's paid off. These are all assets. They're things you own that can either increase in value over time or can be sold for cash. Assets are great because they contribute to your wealth. Now, let's flip the coin and talk about liabilities. These are things like your credit card debt, student loans, or even a mortgage. Liabilities are obligations you owe, and they often come with interest, which means you'll end up paying more over time. Think of it like this. Assets help you build wealth, while liabilities can slow you down if you're not careful. And you might be wondering, what about things that don't clearly fall into one category or the other? Well, some items can be a bit tricky. For example, a car can be both an asset and a liability. If you own it outright, it's an asset, but if you're making payments on it, it's also a liability. It's important to look at both sides of the equation. Another thing to consider is how these assets and liabilities work together to form your net worth. Your net worth is basically what you own minus what you owe. If your assets outweigh your liabilities, you're in a good spot because it means you're building wealth. On the other hand, if your liabilities are greater than your assets, it might be time to rethink some financial strategies. So, what's the best way to manage this? Start by making a list of your assets and liabilities. Write down everything you own that has value, and then jot down everything you owe. This simple exercise can give you a clear picture of where you stand financially. It can also help you identify areas where you might want to cut back or where you can invest more. Also, consider how you're handling your liabilities. Paying down high-interest debt as quickly as possible can free up more money for you to invest in assets. And be cautious about taking on new liabilities. Just because you can afford something doesn't necessarily mean it's a good financial move. Think about how each purchase or investment fits into your overall financial picture. And next, let's touch on an important point: cash flow. Your cash flow is the money coming in versus the money going out. Ideally, you want to have a positive cash flow where your assets are generating more income than your liabilities are costing you. This is how you build financial stability and eventually financial freedom. By keeping a close eye on your cash flow, you can make better decisions about where to allocate your resources. Now, I know we've covered a lot, but let's circle back to the main takeaway. Understanding your assets and liabilities is crucial for building a strong financial foundation. By managing them effectively, you can make smarter choices with your money, reduce your financial stress, and start working toward your long-term goals, whether that's buying a house, starting a business, or retiring comfortably. So then, before you go, I encourage you to take a few minutes to look at your own financial situation. Make that list of assets and liabilities and see where you stand. It's a simple step, but it can give you a lot of insight. Remember, the better you understand your finances, the better equipped you'll be to achieve your financial goals.